Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Wait.
Everybody calm down.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Diablo 4. Hot off the press, the live stream just finished from Blizzard. Season 1, the Season of the Malignant, drops July 20th. At time of recording, we are 2 weeks away from getting our hands on this new season. Lots of new information to cover. Now for this video, we're going to talk briefly about what is new and what's coming. We're going to check out the new seasonal trailer, and then we're actually going to go into the live stream, kind of normal dev chat version. So let's see what's coming on July 20th. You are going to have access to a new quest line, new power, new boss battle, and of course what gets people really excited is new gear, which opens up so many new build opportunities. With 6 new unique items to discover and 7 new legendary aspects to earn alongside the season journey, there are more powerful options to harness for every class. Ooh. Enjoy the trailer, or the announced trailer for Season of the Malignant.
To you, because although a great evil is receding from Sanctuary, a new festering curse now spreads its corruption across the land. More dangerous, more malignant than I could have imagined. I have found a way to stop this plague, to rip the dark power of these monsters from their very core and turn it to our advantage in destroying them. But I cannot do this alone. My allies have fallen. My strength is dwindling. The Malignant are relentless and without mercy. I need help. I need you.
So at this point, you should have a general theme about what Season 1 for D4 is all about. I'm going to be a little fly on the wall in the corner, and I'm going to allow the Blizzard team break down the actual mechanic. Listen to this.
Add more stuff to seasons that appeal to everything that a player does in Diablo 4. So we are adding story, the elements of what you're going to find out about what is actually happening to Sanctuary, but then we want things that are new challenges for the player, things that you can fight that maybe you haven't fought before, as well as new powers, things that you can build your character in a different way, a different direction than maybe you did in any previous season, or in this case in the preseason when you had just the Eternal Realm. So hitting all of those notes, we're starting with a mechanic around the threat. So what is the threat? The Malignant. We've been talking about it a lot. Where does the Malignant actually show up? That actually shows up throughout the entire game. Yep. When you're playing in the world of Sanctuary, anytime you encounter any elite monster, there's a chance that it will spawn as a malignant version of that monster.
Watch this.
So that malignant version is going to have these growths on it and some additional power. After you kill it, a heart will actually appear, the exposed malignant heart that was causing this. If you then interact with that heart by using a Cage of Binding, it now starts a ritual where it's pulling all the malignants in, and a new, even more powerful version of that elite is spawned.
Yep.
Why
That's
would you want
level
this? How
5.
does this help you? Well, if you can manage to beat that even more powerful version, where you see these other minions are now helping it, these other malignant creatures, now it drops the caged heart. You've actually put all of that malignant power into this cage.
Now imagine you're in a nightmare dungeon and there is a pack of elites. Can multiple drop and then you could hit them all at the same time?
It is an item that you can use that is kind of like a gem. It's like a gem in the sense that you can socket it into gear. It is very much not like a gem in the sense that it has an enormous amount of power. Think of a legendary item, the kind of power that's in there. It's like that, maybe even a little bit more than that. So you can take these malignant hearts, you can socket them into your jewelry, and that gives you these kind of stupid new broken builds that are hopefully balanced, but they are extremely powerful. So these are new options of how you can play the game.
Yeah, so
So you will collect these, and like he said, socket it into your jewelry, which almost give you another aspect, which is, I mean, that's pretty crazy. So instead of having a skull, in your ring, you're going to have like a second aspect, which is this caged heart. Oh, those damage numbers are going up for sure.
It's really, really cool, right? So one of the things we really want to do with each season, to Tim's point, is we want to make sure that we're providing new ways for players to engage with Diablo 4, new problems for them to solve, new ways for them to customize their characters and kind of do new cool stuff.
Right.
And that's what Malignant Hearts and the powers associated with Malignant Hearts really allow us to do. So one of these things, so yes, you can take a Malignant Heart that you've managed to collect from one of the consumed that you managed to kill, one of these super malignant creatures that you've killed this way, and you can socket them into your gear. We have over 30. We have 32 new. I'm not gonna say like over 30. We have 32 new malignant powers.
You know exactly how many powers.
Critical strikes electrically charge the enemy 2.8 seconds, causing lightning to arc between them and any other charged enemies, dealing 64. That's an aspect. That is huge. That's level 2. What does it look like at level 100?
It's 32. So we have 32 new malignant powers are going out this way. These are new legendary power-like abilities. You can see this one here: critical strikes, electrically charge creatures for a set amount of damage. So these like there's a lot of really powerful things like this that you'll be able to kind of like interact with over the course of time. But each of the malignant hearts you're collecting are actually like a category. They're associated with a color. So if like brutal hearts, for example, or like have a blue color to them, and they'll only go in infested sockets you'll find on rings and jewelry during the season of the malignant of a matching color.
I see.
So when you're hunting for when you're finding new.
So the one you just saw was red. It went into a red socket. Pretty simple. You're just going to match the colors.
Amulets and rings, or gambling at the like the Opals vendor, whatever it is you want to do. You're kind of looking for specific socket colors.
Or if you're getting a unique ring from the new Helltide chest rewards as you're playing from the one.
That's right. If you happen to luck out and get Mother's Embrace because you need another Mother's Embrace, then yes, you can absolutely.
One will never do.
Pause. So earlier in the stream, they talked about how Helltides, there's a patch actually coming out tonight where you can target farm uniques inside of Helltides. So you need a Tempest Roar, you can gather your cinders, and you can go and just keep knocking on helmet chests, and now there's a chance for uniques to drop.
But what's interesting, like with so there's 3 different types of color sockets, yes?
There's 3 different types of colored sockets, but there's 4 different types of Malignant Hearts.
Yes. Go on.
Well, okay, I guess I will. So the last Malignant Heart type is called basically a Wrathful. It's an extremely powerful Malignant Heart type. They're very, very rare to find. They will fit in any colored socket as you go. And you kind of want a combination of all of these. So even though the Wrathfuls are pretty strong, you're really only looking to probably have like 1 or 2 of these based on what you might actually need for your build, over the course of time. So it's fun, really want to be able to experiment with, again, creating these different problems for players to solve, different ways for players to engage with things, and really change up that experience by virtue of adding these new powers. They're going to unlock different builds potentially for classes, to Tim's point, and just basically be like a really fun, exciting new way for players to kind of inject new power into the experience.
But you're looking for so can the jeweler, when the jeweler right now can add a socket to, a piece of jewelry, are they able to add colored sockets, or are those only
you can't choose the color, but anytime a ring would roll with a socket when the season of Malignant starts, it's always going to have a color associated with it. There's not like, you couldn't get like just a regular jewel socket.
But even a jeweler created one? Like if I have a ring with no socket, when I do the jeweler, it'll be colored?
It'll always be colored. Yeah, it'll always be an infested socket in this way.
Got it.
Yeah.
All jewelry
but that's true for
will have
unique.
a
So if I'm looking
colored
for
socket for season 1.
I have a unique ring, like you talked about, but I want the blue version. I could find a unique with the red socket, and I could find it with a yellow socket. So I'm looking for blue. So there'll be multiple versions of the uniques as well, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, fun new stuff to look forward to, and that's just, we showed in the video earlier, like the player fighting a malignant creature. There's a chance for, as Tim pointed out, like there's a chance for all kinds of elites out there in the world to be malignant in nature, which makes them a little bit more powerful. But then when you kill them and you go and you actually use the Cage of Binding to capture their heart, then you fight that super consume the consume version. It's like that's gonna be like buffing nearby monsters. It spawns a bigger combat in that scene. There's more to look forward to, and those get tougher and tougher. And you want to fight higher and higher level versions of those in higher world tiers to get even better versions of those hearts.
Yeah, so you can get stronger versions of the hearts as you get further into the game, and you might be thinking like, okay, does that mean like the old, like the crappy hearts that I got earlier, are those useless? You can actually break those down at the crafter as well to get a crafting material out of them that allows you to craft new items, including invokers. So invokers are something that you can use a little bit further on. Once you finish the campaign of Season 1, you will unlock the ability to go and use these at a specific place called a Malignant Tunnel. So if you are trying to...
That's also the name of my colonoscopy.
Okay.
There we go. And
it's a serious thing when you're over 50. You should know that.
That's actually
a good point. So if you have a malignant tunnel, you should get yourself checked out.
So in the world of Sanctuary, when we say Malignant Tunnel, we mean, hey, I'm a player and I actually want to get more of these hearts, but it's just a random chance on elites out in the world. Where can I intentionally find more of them? There are these Malignant Tunnels. So there are actually places across the world where the Malignance is manifesting in these new dungeons. So if you specifically want to go find more Malignant Hearts, you can
target farm the hearts as well.
And, hey, there are more Malignant there. So there's a higher chance of finding Malignant monsters there. And if you want to guarantee it, man, I really need a very specific type of Malignant Heart. How do I make that even more likely? That's when you take your crafted invoker. You go all the way to the end of a Malignant Tunnel, and you can use it on a Malignant outgrowth. When you use it on that outgrowth, it now spawns that specific type of Malignant that's going to have the color associated with it of the heart you're trying to find. You kill that, and you're going to get the specific heart. So there's a little bit more targeted farming you can do as you approach the end game of...
If you're target farming hearts, that means it's going to spawn elites. So my brain immediately goes to maybe a way to boost your character as well. More elites, more experience, more loot drops, and more hearts.
Of Season 1.
Actually, I have if go to the C video, it will be able to show you going into an Evoker event where you can go in and sort of, which I've heard called the turkey baster from hell, basically, is what an Evoker looks like.
Turkey baster from hell.
Yes. That wasn't the art direction on it, but yeah, that's where we ended up.
So yeah, at the end of these Malignant Tunnels, you're going to find that there are these masses of Malignants that you're going to be able to go and interact with, and each of the tunnels has a few different ones that can potentially spawn different colors of Malignant outgrowth that can spawn from those. Yes. So it gives you those opportunities to go and really target farm, as Tim's pointed out, certain kinds of Malignant Hearts as the player is progressing through the experience. Yeah.
So when we show we were just showing it,
technical
show the one you were just showing, because that was the Invoker event. So basically, there's a growth. You get to the end of the tunnel. You're able to basically, essentially, requesting a monster of a particular color. Yes, you're saying I want a blue heart. A chance to get a blue heart by trying to defeat the blue monster. Yes?
That's right. And some of these are particularly later on in the experience, the most powerful hearts you can get are going to be delivered from things like
so you pick which color
to go and interact with. So yeah, something we're very excited about.
So basically, they use an Invoker on the one of the pods.
That's right. Yeah, the outgrowths from this Malignant mass,
which then creates a blue monster for you to fight. You have to take that down, which will then. So does this one go through the same mechanic where I have to kill it, try to capture heart to kill the harder thing?
Yeah, when this thing pops up, after you kill this one, you don't actually have to capture it. You're fighting the powerful version of it immediately.
That's what I was asking. So you don't have to do the 1-2.
That's right. Got it.
So that's nice. So it's kind of a little like the sigil crafting, where you basically, I've got a bunch of stuff I'm not using right now. I can craft it down so that I can focus what Malignant Hearts I want. Because maybe my build, I know I want a brutal heart, but I haven't running into any blue Malignants out there in the world. So now I can go into a Malignant Tunnel, fight my way to the end, have an opportunity to use the Invoker to create a blue Malignant to go after its heart. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Rogers called it out.
And I know.
But wait. There's more. I found this interesting on respecking.
And there is at various stages of the game. And then there is the actual experience of respecking a character, particularly when you're deep into the Paragon system. That takes a lot of effort. So we have longer term plans on the user experience side, on the menu side, because we want to improve the flow of allowing players to respect their characters. These are things we're actively investigating. We have designs for things we're looking to add into seasons in the future, but we don't have a date that we're committing to today for that. And in terms of the actual price of that, we're evaluating things on the gold economy, and we're taking a look at what players are doing on a regular basis. We're not making any fundamental structural changes to today at this time, but we are, because we're satisfied with where things feel like in the 150. One thing we will be adding, though, is as part of seasons, there is now a new reward that you can collect as you're going through the season journey at the end of each season, called the Scroll of Amnesia, which once you collect a Scroll of Amnesia, you can use that one time to basically reset the entirety of a character all in one go for no gold cost at all. So these can be like pretty fun things to bring back with you to turn around if you want to use for future playthroughs or for that character or another character. So we want to make sure that we're like slowly adding a few of these as the player is progressing through the experience. Kind of make that a little bit easier for players to go through.
And that Scroll of Amnesia is everything. It's all your skills, all your Paragons, everything goes to 0.
Yeah.
Scroll of Amnesia coming, so you could save that 10, 15 million gold when you want to respec. Now, there was other little tidbits in here, but nothing too large. Lots of questions around Renown. Nothing is changing. Fog of War as far as map clearance transfers, city waypoints transfer, Altars of Lilith transfer, but everything else you have to unlock. And World Tier 5, no mention. Even all the chat is going crazy. World Tier 5, question mark, no mention whatsoever, which either means it's not coming or they are saving that for another announcement as we get closer to patch. No idea, but that is Dev Chat D4 Edition Season 1. What do you think? Are you excited about this season? You think this is going to get you to come back? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. 2 asks at the end of the video. Ask number 1, I'm hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. Hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. I would really appreciate it, but of course, only if you think I deserve it. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. Thank you to the first 86 members that have signed up. Become an instant ARPG VIP and get Patreon exclusive content at the first link in the description. I get asked all the time, Aaron, what is the best way to support? And Patreon is it because you get the most benefits. For tonight, This Week in Action podcast 73 or 74, we'll be discussing the breakdown for this patch that is dropping tonight and Season 1. Hope to see you there. That's all I've got. Hopefully you're entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.